Screen now. Okay, this is the BearThought podcast. We do this every Friday at 5 o'clock Standard Time, except for last week, because last week, well, we were gone. God, I can't believe how quick the days have went by with all the madness that this week, and now it's already Friday again. Where last week we were out the house, all driving on the road together, heading toward Orlando, which was fun, but we got some unusual things that happened to us on our vacation / birthday. But first, as always, we have the Corvo Ninja with us. We all right?
Yeah, we're good. I'm listening to audio. I was waiting for a moment for me to speak so I could check my audio.
All right. You should be going. Last week you didn't. Did he?
Yeah, we're lagging a little bit behind them, so I'm waiting. Yeah, we're good.
All right. And as always, we have a distant body set there, Jade, but Corvo has a program that kind of she has to move near the mic when she says something, because I know she's want to chime in, or she can jump in the call, but then the camera all messed up, but it'd be all right. It will live. All right. So last week we were coming up with some ideas for the podcast, and one of them was if you could trade places with any characters from any video game, anime, or movie, who would it be? And we were talking about that on the way toward Orlando in the Jeep before madness ensued, and we had a countdown of unusual or bad or crazy things that had happened that are normally not a normal day incidents that happened during the trip that made it even more rememberable. To say the least.
I mean, in reality, some of the things is not something I haven't experienced before, but they're still, it's like it's not every time you go type of situation.
Yeah. It was just a compiling thing of is this different? Is this different? It is on the card. It's it was like a game for us. It wasn't even a terrible thing. What it was scary, but it wasn't life threatening until the drive from me and my wife home. Then things got scary, very uncomfortable, very unsettling, and something that I hope I never experience ever again, because I don't wish it on anybody to do this. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. So stay tuned, stick around. We got a lot to tell you, a lot of interesting stories. So let's jump right into it, so we can have a jump into the other topic before. Did you ever figure out what anime, movie, or video game you would trade places with?
Yeah, if it was me, I think I would trade places with a Belmont.
The Belmont, knowing the world would try to kill you, a lot of vampires,
absolutely.
Monsters, the thrill of it would be enough for you.
Listen. Have you seen some of those vampire chicks? Have you seen some of the sorcerer chicks? Put a spell on me, bite me, bitch.
You might be a Belmont, but you would probably change places so quickly just so you could be with that.
Correction, you were doing a list.
Listen.
Listen. Not all vampires are bad. Alucard did some pretty good shit.
Me, I chose 100 Girlfriends, just so I can see if I can be able to so I can figure out whether I can do it. And I believe nothing in that world's trying to kill me, but the idea of
there's something trying to kill you.
Yeah,
it's trying to wear you out. It's going to exhaust your heart.
Trying to make 100 people happy would be astronomically.
I'm telling you what, I will take fucking King Piccolo on in my current state before I try to keep 100 motherfuckers happy at one time.
But at least that's the one time of life of I know nothing's I just have to be really good time management. I have a lot of options. Most men would
you've met my wife. She would have to be one of the 100. How long do you think the other 99 are going to make it?
Well, it would be your fault, right? It would be
the point is that that one whole person will for me.
Yeah.
I have one I have one for you. This is
Okay.
a question. Okay. Somebody was to offer you $1 million
All right.
to fight an anime villain. You had to win, but you get to choose the villain you fight, but you have to do it as you. What
Okay.
villain are you choosing?
You know that the villain from Dragon Ball Z, the little short guy that has two little sidekicks that follow him around, one woman and one like bear panda. Yeah,
Emperor
I'm gonna kick the shit out of that thing.
Wait, so,
he's a villain, damn it.
so
Don't beat the baby.
was like,
beat the baby.
somebody's like, everybody picks either the weak people in this question, or they pick the one guy that we all would actually happily kill for free in anime.
Yeah.
If we were given a chance, which is the doc that turned his daughter into a fucking chimera.
Oh, jeez.
We'd all kill his ass for free. I mean, they wouldn't even have to give me a check. But the other side of that is most people choose easy ones. And somebody asked me this question today, and I said, does it have to be a villain? Okay. They're like, okay, well, we can expand it. It doesn't have to be a villain. It can be a hero.
All right.
I said, all right. I said, I can take Pervio Sage out. They're like, he's a fucking master, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, but I cannot lay a finger on him and I will beat him. I will make him die purely from blood loss. Because I will take the incentive of the $1 million and go find the 10 most beautiful women and tell them they can all have 10 grand apiece. All they got to do is stay on top of him until he bleeds to death. Boom, I win. I didn't even have to touch him. You know, they looked at me and said, you know, the sad thing is that would probably work. You didn't even get your hands dirty. I was like, I'm a strategist.
You wait, you have to kill them, or can you just not knock them out? Like,
no, you got to take them out. They got to be done.
So I would say Master Roshi if he wasn't immortal. Because unfortunately, Master Roshi isn't immortal. Most people didn't know about that until like the later Super Saga, where we find out he goes to a certain island, gets a certain amount of food, eats it every millennia or something like that, and because he stays immortal for a longer time from his sister, the one on the ball.
Well, the messed up thing is that they say that, but he died at one point.
I know, it's kind of confusing. Like, how is he immortal?
It's like,
but he's
when the whole
he's
thing
immortal.
Started with King Piccolo, and he did the demon wave and missed the fucking crock pot. By the way, he died.
Yeah, so it's I think he's like, it's just like anything else. He can live for a long time, but he's not like, he can still be killed, like kind of like a vampire, where you're immortal, but you're not immortal or whatever.
He's immortal to natural death.
Yeah, okay. Natural death. So I can't just stick like a bunch of whipping on him and like, oh yeah, make him bleed to death. Because all the nosebleeds he would have, because you know he's a little horn dog too. So like any character that has a horn dog fetish and they bleed up their nose, they will die. But that is a cartoon. It's like trying to kill Roger Rabbit. You're not gonna kill him unless you have dip.
Yeah, active dip.
Yeah. So so that was a lot of that whole thing. We were talking about that along the way to Orlando. After a 6-hour drive from me to your house, and then from your house in the 4 hours. Which I just say the 4 hours between going from Orlando to your house or your house to Orlando is the fastest 4 hours I've ever had in my life. I do not know how we drive 4 hours like that, and it just goes like, even with my wife, even with me and her, does not go that fast. Unless I'm driving with like from your house to Orlando. This feels like 2 hours. It really does. It feels like just 2 hours from there and back. I don't know. By the way, do you ever get a picture of our tag?
Of y'all's tag? I don't think so.
Well, I hope you get the amount before my wife does.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I did.
I hope you did.
I did. I got it by accident when I was taking pictures of the back of the Jeep with all the shit. The picture of their tag so that we can get the toll stuff. It's a race, babe.
It's a race. So we were along the ride, and we were just talking about the choices and multi options, and the wife and them were getting a little ahead of us. Stealthy has a not a lead foot, but she definitely has a grasp of how to drive. And she said this is the first time for her, which was one of the unusual things, that she's ever drove from y'all's house to there and not be raining, not someone trying to kill her along the drive. And what was the other thing? Was it 3 things or just 2 things?
That's you have to remove those from the list because it's later.
She says you have to remove those from the list because it happened on the way home. Remember, it rained and someone tried to run over us.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's well,
but on the way
there.
on the way down there was no rain and no one tried to run over her. But she, I wouldn't say lead foot, but she definitely has a grasp of how to drive that particular stretch of road.
Yeah, she definitely knows how to get in there and get going with little hesitance. And on the way there, we were noticing that your Jeep was running, as you call it, a little rough, as Jeeps usually drive. Right?
Right.
You were mind.
Most times, Jeep suspensions are stiff as shit. They're gonna have a little bounce to them.
Yeah.
Period. But I noticed one of the reasons why I started slowing down prior to the incident we're about to talk about is I noticed it was rougher than it should have been.
Yeah.
So I had already let off the gas.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it had a little more bounce than it should have had.
Yeah, I described it as a back vibrator, and it felt good. I mean, I was feeling the vibration in my back the entire time, going, okay. Of course, I don't remember it being like that when you first came visit us, right? We drove around your vehicle around this town. It wasn't like that. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe one of his tires are just having some problems with alignment. I don't know what it was. Maybe one of the tires was just being a little awkward today, and it was straightened out. And we are probably within the, I would say, 2-hour mark, maybe 3-hour mark.
Hour 45 is where we were from.
Actually, hour 45. Okay. And we were on the far left lane, and they had this big kind of like, distance between the other 2 lanes and us. So we were good, right? And we just got past that. We just passed up Stealthy and my wife in the van, and we were gutting it, trying to make sure we keep up with them. And moments later, after we passed them up, the loudest bang I've had in the vehicle, and God knows when, popped, and we jumped. And first thing I felt was, oh shit. And Corvo was like, stiffness was abound, and of course we pulled over.
I should not have slowed down.
Yeah, pulled us over, and Stealthy and us we were kind of out of sight of them for a second there, and then according to the Stealthy's remarks, all that she could say was, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck," and that's the sound I was hearing inside the vehicle. Go, oh, so we pull over, and we get out, and one of Corvo's tires didn't just like pop. It more like pop, rip, crackled, and tore. I never seen a tire do this much destruction on one vehicle in my life. And so we get out there, and what was the first thought? Because you were on the side, you could see the tire.
I got out and I looked, and I was like, well, my first thought was I looked at the rim first. Because I was like, okay, did rim impact? Rim didn't impact. I even double checked it again after y'all left to go home. Rim never touched. So when it popped, it mushroomed enough when we were pulling off that it didn't get the rim. I was like, okay, that's good. That's good. No scratch up rim, no warped rim. Good. That means tire can go back on that rim later.
Yeah.
All right. At that time, I was more focused on, all right, let's get these lugs broke and start getting the spare off because we need to get back on the road. I hadn't even paid attention to the other shit yet. I started seeing that as we were changing the tire.
Destruction.
Which, by the way, Crimson did pick out a set of lights for the back, and I ordered them today.
Okay.
They're LED,
nice.
so
nice.
less likely that they're going to blow, and they even have little S's in them.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay. So I get out of the vehicle, and I'm on the side where all the vehicles are just booking it. And no one's slowing down. So I'm making sure, like, I don't go open a door and then the door goes missing because somebody decides to just not give us space. So I'm barely opening the door. I'm trying to squeeze myself out, trying to close the door behind me. I come back there, and the first thing I notice is license missing. Your license
license plate is gone.
I'm like, we have a problem here. Tail light is also gone. Then I go around to you, and it looks like the tire. If anybody was looking at it, it looks like the tire was. It was maybe, but it wasn't, right? It was not. But it looked like somebody could have done a resurfacing or retreading of the tire, which was a brand new tire.
Right.
But look, the tire was just like shredded, just like somebody just took this tread, it went rip right off, and then the underwire and the under tire was exposed. Southie said they saw some sparks. We didn't see the sparks because we were too busy trying to get up the road.
The sparks were from the where it hit everything, flew off, and then you had the wire in the tire itself that was causing the sparks.
So that was a very interesting start of the trip. And of course, we're nice enough. Florida has a system where if you ever break down the side of the road, they have a toll-free phone number. They usually have it plastered down the road. Blue signs telling you can call these people and they'll come help you out. But the guy saw us, one of those people that help us help side the roads assistance. And he had a jack floor jack. And he was like, even I had like even a torque wrench. And like, we don't need that. We'll just do it by hand. And the nice thing about Jeeps, though, I've always said this before, they're the only vehicles that I very much know of that are very highly used. That always comes with a spare tire that's not a donut tire, which is, I believe, is just such a great thing to have. I wish more car dealerships would do that as a default, is just having a actual tire rim with the actual tire on it. So when you had that kind of problem, you can switch it out and you can get you a new tire, redo it. I think it's wonderful. I think it's awesome.
Well, I mean, I will tell you this now that we're here because I remember it, but the vet's that way too.
That's good.
The vet actually has a carrier under the back end where under the trunk and gas tank area that you let down. It has a full rim tire.
Yeah, I think it's more than a lot of them nowadays is just like, oh, we'll just get you a donut. They'll get you where you need to. Yeah, very slowly and one time. And afterwards, you get rid of that thing and then you get your new donut tire. Like, I don't want another donut tire. I want to get an actual tire for both of my vehicle with the actual rims on it because I think that's much more.
Well, and it didn't hurt that I keep that tire at the PSI that it needs to be at to be run in case of anything happening. Like, we didn't have to blow it up or any of that. It was ready to go. It just come right off. We got it on. Put the old one on where that one was. And Jerry rigged the tag in the back glass. And stuffed the lights back up in the hole.
Yep.
And we drove down to the next exit.
Yeah, which was, after we did that, the tire was great. No more vibration. It ran like a brand new vehicle. There was no discomfort on the rest of the ride there and back. So, like, that tire was the reason why the entire time that it was going haywire. And it's so hard to really know which tire it was until, well, it kind of showed itself. Which I think is kind of like a way of finding out, like, which tire it is. But kind of wish there was another way to figure out why he was doing it and maybe like been able to prevent it, but you can't very much prevent it because like it didn't look like there was any problem with any of the tires. You wouldn't be able to tell me, look at that tire and tell me what's wrong with it. I wouldn't be able to tell you till it explodes.
Yeah, because I mean it didn't have any. It had no nails in it. It had no spikes in it. It wasn't leaking. Stealthy made the comment, and I believe she's right. And there was an air bubble had developed in the tire that caused it.
Yeah.
Because you remember we looked at that split area in the actual inner liner part of the tire.
Yeah.
I think
blew up and got between the tread.
I think that blew, and when it blew, it slung the tread off.
Yeah. Which it took off tail light, tag, rim cover or
fender flare.
Fender flare and handle shroud or cover. So it took off
and bent the step rail.
Bent the rail. I mean, like it bent it down and like crooked a little bit. It hit it hard. I'm thinking like this tire did more destruction than I've seen in natural disasters. This thing was tearing everything while it was going away, which, thankfully didn't tear anything like rotors or brakes or shocks or anything. It just, yeah. What'd she say?
Stealthy said no. She finished the brake parts for us today because she hit some black ice going to work and had to really get on the brakes to keep from sliding into a vehicle.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that a little later on because boy, that was a fun trip. And I'm sure what?
That was me. I hit a button by accident, opening something in front of me because I'm being a pig and wanting a snack.
Gotcha. So we finally make it to Florida, and we finally get to our our Airbnb, which was right when we got we're all relaxed. We finally we make it. No more troubles, no issues. We had a couple stops, but there was nothing really fantastic that night. Then we get to go try out the world, or at least the United States' largest McDonald's, which I didn't think it was in Florida, all places. Because, well, I didn't think, bigger in Florida. I was thinking bigger than Texas, but no, United States' biggest McDonald's, where we
There's
had
a lot of things big in Florida, as we found out.
Yeah, and then which we found out that they has a lot of different cultures, and some people found out they were, I guess, some other people from the same area. They start singing songs.
See, I can't deal with both of y'all cracking jokes at the same time because I was about to spit my shit everywhere. You're saying you're saying shit making me laugh. You said something about things bigger in Florida. She said, "Yeah, even tires."
Oh, Jesus. All right, so then, of course, the nice thing about that McDonald's was you order food, they'll bring it to you. And if you're done your food, just leave it there. Someone will come by and pick it up. If you need some drinks, they'll come ask you. Really, it was like a restaurant meets McDonald's. But it also had a pizza pizza area and a deli area for if you wanted cakes and desserts and I don't know about sandwiches or not. So it's like a 3-in-1 McDonald's.
She sent our group, me and you and hers group, the link to that McDonald's in case you
I'll
post it.
Yeah, I'll post it
anyway,
up here.
So my opinion, the first day, the worst thing was the crowd. It really wasn't as crowded as it has been, but it still wasn't optimal.
Yeah.
I've seen Saturdays far worse. You remember that one spot where we walked by and the guys were doing the drum stuff and it was super tight that day?
Yeah.
I've seen the entire place like that. So that's why going through that one spot, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it might be because it's Saturday.
We're talking about we're okay. This is the following day. We woke up early and we went to Orlando, which we forgot we were going out to go get some replacement stuff for your vehicle, and we didn't think we were going to go straight from there to Orlando, but we were that close. We went, you know what, screw it. We'll just go there because it's literally 5 minutes up the road from where we are. Instead of going 20 to 45 minutes all the way back to the Airbnb and then back this way. So we decided to skip that straight to Orlando. So, yeah.
After we went to what I call the largest AutoZone I've ever seen. And guys, let me tell you something. This was an AutoZone warehouse with a store. And guess what? They still didn't have my fucking part. We're going to have to order that. I'm like, this is the fucking warehouse. Where are you ordering it from?
Yeah, we're all making jokes they can build a car here. It was about as large as a neighborhood Walmart. You get an idea. This thing was not just a front store. This was a front store with a warehouse going far back and beyond, and even far back in the other direction too. So, and then
it wouldn't surprise me if they had a golf cart in the back to transport them from the front to the back of the warehouse to get shit.
Yeah. So this is where was one of the second weird thing, if I remember it, unusual things, was the line getting into Orlando. It was no longer just a go to wherever your interest you want. They had it on a roller coaster line system going on all the way up to the entrance of the place.
To be fair, the only time I've ever seen the barricades like that is usually when there's an event. I have seen them, but there's usually an event. Now, I don't know what was going on that day. But that's the only thing I could think of. And if I remember right, and y'all can correct me because y'all were there, seems like I remember on our way out, there were people standing holding signs that was saying private event. So I'm wondering if that barricade when we come in was put up to kind of funnel people down so they could get the private event people through.
I don't know. I don't think I should, if you can look it up or not. Like you look up what it was that day's events going on.
Well, if it's a private event, they won't have it posted because that means somebody spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
To have an event, but they don't want anybody to know who it's for or anything.
Gotcha. Okay. I mostly ignored them. They was always at that one little kiosk area just behind the entrance, and they always like, free passes or something like that. I'm just ignoring them because like I wasn't caring about what they were saying. I was fixated getting into it, and it was very packed that day. Very lively, I would say, and like you said, it was as you were saying, like it's usually just kind of packed on a Sunday or Saturday. Sorry, Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were, let's say, focus on getting to the first Harry Potter area and getting to experience that. Because my wife has been on her bucket list for years, and I've always said I would get her to it someday. Y'all helped me get her there, which was great because I didn't know when I would be able to do it in my lifetime, but I was going to do it someday. And it was so cool to come upon the doorway and hearing the sound effects coming in when you walked into it. But then seeing the entire cluster of people all standing there waiting for the dragon to go off. Just waiting. No one moving, no one going nowhere. It's not even like making sounds yet, and everybody's just sitting there just going, any time of the day. And I was...
You're misunderstanding. See, there were people moving. You were not paying attention to it because you were too busy looking at the dragon too.
Yeah, I was like, well, more like looking at my wife because I was interested in seeing her response and her look on her face.
And she got to see it, got pictures more than once.
Yeah,
of it going off. And that's also where we knocked something off of my bucket list because Stealthy went straight over there to see if they're open. So guys, I'm going to show you something. This little container right here is one of 4 that you can get at a very specific location. They come with a colored liquid in them. Blue, green, red, orange. They're different flavors. This one happens to be the one that was blue. It was the elixir of euphoria. Now, what they're for is for mixing in water. Because they get the water flavor. You can buy these bad boys at anywhere in the Harry Potter area, but you can only buy these at one location. You get a little bit of a discount on these if you go ahead and buy a bottle of water with one. Okay, so Stealthy has been trying for a very long time to get these for me because this place does not always open. She seen them one time when we were there. Made the note, hey, maybe we should go back and get some. And then we didn't make it back. They were closed. And then every time after that, they were either closed or they closed before we got there. So when she went in there and seen them there, it was go get them one of all of them now. So we managed to get those, and Grumpy has a reaction video that he's going to do later on what we think about the flavors on these that you guys will get to see. But so I knocked off something on my bucket list while we were in that first little time frame of the Harry Potter Diagon Alley experience.
Yeah. So one of the first things I wanted to try to do was get my wife to see the dragon. She wanted to go to Gringotts, which was the bank, which we did get to see finally, which was amazing. We'll talk about that. And of course, getting my wife to be chosen to be at the wand store, which was something I want to see my wife react to. I want to see if she would be chosen and be having the experience of having a wand chosen for her by the not wandsmith. What would you call him? Like, what would you call them?
He's a wandsmith. He's a wandsmith. He works for Mr. Ollivander.
Yeah. So getting him to choose my wife was a challenge. Now, first day we went there, your son stuck to the front, which I'm not mad about him.
Sub-Zero snuck to the front, and being that he was the only child,
he was picked again.
Well, he was the youngest child.
Yeah.
He was picked for a second time.
With a different wand.
Of course, when we got done, I was like, listen, you've already been picked once. I'm not buying a second one. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. His first one was the one with a skull on the bottom, the bottom of it, which was very interesting choice. Right? Was it a skull?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going, okay, we'll try again later. We'll try again another day. You know, we'll get back here. And then we're going, okay, let's go to Green Gods. Green God was an hour or something minute long ride. We're going, nope. Not doing that, so let's go somewhere else. And then we finally leave there, and we finally go to, what was the ride? The first ride. Oh, Transformers.
Yes, Transformers.
This ride is one of me and my wife's favorite rides. Not the most favorite, but one of our favorite rides as of this point. Going to Orlando theme park. Now, we were in there, and we was told it was 45 minutes. Yeah, that's not always the case. That's not always the case at all. We get in there and we hear a message about, I would say, 45 minutes into the ride. Someone comes over in the comm, goes, hey, don't stand still in the line. Keep up with people. Get up to it so we can actually try to hit the 45 minutes or the time listed on the front door. Apparently, people were just sitting on the floor, not moving, stalling up people from getting up to the ride faster and hopefully getting people through the line quicker. They're all just sitting around goofing off while they're supposed to be like going. We went through, I would say, 5 or 6 rooms, all going through the story of what's going on in this thing. And the interactiveness of the place was okay, but the video was kind of fun. But I can only imagine if you wasn't waiting 45 minutes or an hour or 20. It would have been like a little TV show, a little video, like a little streamline of events, so you can know what's going on when you hit the main ride itself. Which this ride was a 3D goggled or 3D lensed, moving cinema ride where your vehicle's going back, forward, up and down in all directions, but never flipping. So you never have to worry about that. This ride was so much fun to be inside of, but I had to be, and I still think this might be the case, was sitting with 2 other heavy set people that were not allowing the ride to fit tightly next to my waist, like like it should have been, but since they were.
Stealthy said, welcome to her world. Every time she gets on a ride with my big ass, it's like that for her.
So I'm not, snug into it. But I could have swore this ride was a little bit rougher because we got to ride it not once, but twice. But the first time we were just like, it was like jerking us. Like I don't feel like I was like really being jerked around and moved around. And at one point, like right to the very end, we all just stop. And we can see the other vehicle in front of us. And we don't hear nothing coming from Optimus Prime just talking. Just going.
Right, they're not. It's because the vehicle in front of us was where the sound was going, not to us.
Yeah.
So it plays the sound to the vehicle based on which vehicle's in the specific area.
Yeah.
We weren't in the area, even though we could see him.
Yeah.
We weren't there to hear it yet.
So we just stopped right there, and we just watched them do their thing. And as soon as they left, our ride kicks back in and goes to that same spot and does the same thing of Optimus talking, and we get to hear him this time. And we finally get, back to the beginning again. And the lady goes, if you want to ride again, just go through these doors and you get on the ride again and boom, you ride again. I'm like, yes, please. I'm going, is this normal? Something's like, it does happen, but no, it's not very much normal. I'm like, all right, check it off the list. So I'm like, okay, we get back on the ride. Because my wife, she wasn't paying attention too much. She took the glasses, put in the little glass holders. Your youngest son did the same thing. He put it back in the holder. I'm going, Oh, we're riding again. You know you need the glasses, right? And we're all like saying, like, why'd you throw away the glasses? We're doing the ride again. Like, I don't know. So my wife rode it without the glasses, and your son did too. Tracy, it was still fun, even without the glasses.
No, Stealthy took her glasses off and gave them to the youngest. So Stealthy rode it without them.
Okay, I didn't see that. So I think it was like she said it was still fun with even out the glasses, a little blurry, but like still a lot of fun. I just say the part where you fall off the building really feels like you are falling off the building. Such a good wide view.
You're hoping Bumblebee's gonna be there, because if you get missed, that shit don't hurt. That's the way it feels.
Yeah. So yeah, this has to be one of the funnest VR rides I've been on in a long time. Such a good thing. Great vibes, great cinematic, great 3D rendering, whatnot. Delhi High suggested on my list of if you don't like a lot of outdoor rides, go on to it. And the rest of the day was pretty standard. We had let's see, we went on. I think we went on Men in Black later on. I think that same day, and we went on the ET one, right?
Yeah.
Same day? Yeah, first day there. Which normally you do at your very last day. But I was not paying attention and did not realize you do this at the very, very last day. I'm going, all right, I would do it at the end of the day. Because I was thinking, end of the day. I just say, the Men in Black one, I was saying, it was more of like a family affair ride rather than a...
That's what it's meant to be, a family or group ride. It's meant for you and your group to get in there, blast some aliens, see who gets the highest points. And
why? And then we went on the ET one. Why is the ET one of your most nostalgia rides for you?
Okay, there's a couple things with that. One, I love ET. Two, it was one of my father's favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
And three, we started hitting it as the last ride because it was on the side we were on the first couple times, and not only that, you rode it. It's a very chill ride.
Oh yeah,
it's
very
not
chill
fast paced or nothing. So after doing all those roller coasters and all those hyped up things, I wanted to ride something mellow to end the day.
Yeah.
And being that it was one of my favorites, one of my dad's favorites, it kind of lined up, and it just became a thing. That's what we do it for.
Yeah, and had that old school kind of like it's, I would say, the Small World kind of vibes where everything's like everything's little puppets and little animatronics and creatures and water going on, and it was a very chill ride. It even smelled kind of nice. That sounds weird, but it even smelled kind of nice.
Yeah.
And I love the interior area for the wait line into it. And all these big old looking trees going up to the ceilings.
Be like the redwood forest, like the sequoias in the redwood forest.
So, and then of course, little like cinematic of a little another ET or whatever comes up the ground, telling him he needs him home to save their planet, and some little cinematics of creatures running around in the woods and space people looking for you.
Martinicus going, we need ET.
Yeah, and of course. There goes our next unusual thing, which you said doesn't happen very often, if at all, ever. The ride got stalled, and we were stuck in the line for maybe 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, just waiting for them to fix the ride, which is not usual for this ride to break down because not many people ride it, I guess.
It's normal for it to break down on occasion. It's not normal for it to break down on us, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest issue that they have at that ride is the water area.
Yeah.
Where the spouts were running and then it would cut off when you come by.
Yeah.
Let's just say there's been a few incidences where water didn't cut off. And then there's been a few incidences like where you go over the diorama where you see the city as a miniature.
Yeah.
Right there. There's a reason there's a walkway there. There's been a few incidences where you just chill there for a minute. Which I am perfectly fine with, because the diorama room is one of my favorite fucking room, miniature room.
Yeah.
I love that room.
Yeah, that place is very cool.
The reason I like it is because it shows that way back when they still found a way through skill to make these tiny, tiny fucking buildings to give you that illusion, you know?
Yes.
And
of height and depth and distance, yeah. And I have to say, like, it was definitely an experience that brings you back to the classical days of what rides used to be for entertainment, not just for thrill, but for entertainment that ride gives you. And at the end of it, you were getting these cards at the beginning of it that you tell them what your name is, and on these cards they'll say, okay, beep, gotta get you a travel card, and then they'll type your name in it. And at the very end of the ride, they will call out your name in E.T.'s voice and say goodbye to you. And they said Jody not once, but twice. And my brain, I don't mind it, people know it. They said it twice, and I was going, oh, there's someone else here. So apparently there was someone else on the ride with me with saying the same, and they said all of our names, and it was goodbye, and they would say y'all's names, and that was kind of charming. Like, not many electronics or even like AI back then were that good at saying people's names. So how they got it, the ET to say everybody's names, I would imagine they had to upgrade the system, because like, was it always like that? Always that good?
It's always been where he reads your name off. I don't think it's ever changed in all the years that I've written it. I think there was a year that it was down because they had a problem with not the voice, but with the ET at the end of it.
Yeah.
So since he wasn't there and was being worked on, they just stopped doing the voices for that year. But I think that it's always sounded the way it sounded.
That's very impressive. See, that's the one thing me and Suthy were talking about, that when rides are like heavily traffic or heavily, there's a lot of people trying to get on the ride, or people complain about certain parts about the ride, they start taking away features and take away interactive stuff in the ride because of other people. And I think that really does suck, because like, I would love to see some of those interactive things happening, even going up to the ride or being on the ride, that were just gone and missing, that some people like were going, hey, I remember this happening, what happened to it? And some Karen or some kid or somebody complained about it, and you're just going, I want to experience that, dude, though. That sounds cool.
Me and Stealthy have some stories about being in line when some Karens and Kens were in line. And I have on more than one occasion risked being thrown out of the park to tell a Karen, shut the fuck up. Okay, just stop. You have children with you. Your children are with you, and you're acting worse than they are. Yeah. What kind of fuck? I mean, what precedent is that setting? And then when you leave here and you go to a store and they're bugging you about something, you want to bitch at them because of the way they're acting. The fuck, you just did the same shit on the ride.
Yeah,
they're learning it from you.
So if you ever go there and you go and experience something from Orlando and you go there again and that's not there, just know it's your fellow human that's ruining it for you, or they don't have time to do it because there's so many people trying to go on it. Because next time I go there, I want to get a Hagrid's ride again. I definitely want to do Hagrid's ride again. And if I don't see the little Hagrid thing going off because everybody's over in Epic, I'm going to be annoyed, because I want to experience that. I think that's that little, when he comes out and talks about the bikes and what he makes, and like that's something that keeps people that are in the long wait.
It's kind of like the sequence. You remember when we were in Gringotts and we seen Bill and the little goblin talking in it? It's kind of like that, and it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, one of the coolest things in any of the Loudon queues are them fucking talking pictures.
Yes.
Those are some cool ass shit.
And especially even in the elevator. The elevator was totally not necessary. They could have made us walk in the elevator and walk out the elevator and not made a lick of difference.
Extra mile, man. Extra mile.
But that just feels so much better. Also trying to figure out where the ride was in congruent to where you entered at. Because some rides, you're going, where's this thing at? We don't know where, we never see it. We're going, is it below ground? Is it above ground? Is it behind some buildings? We're trying to figure this out because like we twist and turns you take on some rides to get to the ride. By the time you stop, you're going, where am I?
You go over, you go up, you twist, you turn, you hop on one foot, and you're like,
you need GPS to figure out where you are on the map. That's what I'm trying to say here, because we were trying to guess.
Where are we?
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun, but like I want to experience all that the ride has to offer, but I know it does take away from people trying to just get on the ride, just try to experience it. But I am there for the ride and the experience because this is my first time there, and so being in my first time, it's going to be what I remember the most. When I go there again, going, oh, what happened to this? I remember that, and it's no longer there. I'm gonna be a little perturbed because I thought that was cool, right? I want that interactiveness. But the first day felt great outside. It was a great temperature. We didn't have a lot of problems. Stephanie had one problem, but Stephanie toughed it out for us, which I thank her so much for that. She toughed it out big time.
That was the whole weekend, dude. If I'd have been her, I'd have been like, bitches, y'all going by yourself.
Yeah.
Y'all get the fuck on.
Yeah, good for her, because she was like, I'm not ruining this for you. I'm not. I'm like, we could go home.
She is a trooper.
Right. Yeah, I'm like,
she's
go.
A trooper.
But she was not doing it. Of course, we got to see the music show at the very end of it, which was spectacular. Maybe not the best viewing angle for it, but the music, the light show, the water effects, and the movie on the water was just awesome. That was really cool. I have to say that was really, like, if your kids can stay up, you can watch that at least one time. You'd be satisfied.
There's most definitely other spots. That was kind of like one of those things we weren't prepared. We weren't expecting to do that one that night.
Yeah.
Had we been expecting it, we would have moved over to where it was a lot earlier and got there, because we got where we usually go to see it.
Yeah.
Because it's a much better view. But yeah, dude, can you imagine how much precise pressure control it takes to push that water out in such a fine fanned mist that you can project an image?
Yes, that was
and it looked
so cool.
Good shit. I mean, it looked great.
Yeah.
Fireworks intermittently throughout it. I wish the drone band thing wasn't going on right now, because you could have seen in the upper left over there in that vacant spot in the sky, when they would play a song and it would pertain to a show, the drones would change shapes and different shapes for that show.
Yeah. So apparently somebody didn't know this. Somebody got hit by a drone, a kid did, and they almost died.
Yeah.
They survived, and Orlando going, never mind the drones.
It wasn't a universal drone. It wasn't actually any major theme parks drone that caused it, but all the theme parks agreed until the shit's settled and over with, and they get through with the investigation and lift the ban that they're not going to run a risk.
Yeah.
So
the second day we got up. Of course, the first day was good. We felt like we hit up everything we wanted to.
You forgot what you come home to that first night.
Oh, we came home and our husky mix decided to rip a hole in our kennel because she couldn't be bothered to stay in her kennel while we were gone. We got a fabric kennel, and okay, don't get me wrong, my wife, I love her to death. I told her we shouldn't do it. We should have brought the metal one. She didn't listen. She found out. But it is what it is. I'll live it. I'll fix it, and we'll keep it going. But lesson learned, don't put mesh on a kennel, I guess. Dogs will chew through it. I don't know what to say to her.
Some dogs are fine with mesh.
Mm-hmm.
But a husky doesn't. I found that out too.
Yeah. So yeah, don't do it. I guess you're especially going to be all gone for close to 8 hours. We couldn't help it. We're having too much fun. So the next morning we get up and was it the next morning? No, I think it was this was Sunday, right?
Sunday.
All right. So Sunday we get up and we're going, all right, we're going to hit the other side of Universal, which is the Not Epic.
Islands of
it's
Adventure.
Island Adventure, which I love the aesthetics of Island Adventure. I thought that side was very aesthetically pleasing and very nice to look at. I love the entrance of it. I thought the whole area looked pretty cool. But the one ride I wanted to hit up was the Hulk. Because I love the Hulk. I've always loved the Hulk. It's been one of my things, one of my favorite Marvel characters. We wanted to ride Rip Rot Rocket, but it was always really long lines. I mean, really long lines. So you told me it'd be down in September. So like, okay, let's go to the other side and get the Hulk. So get on the Hulk, and this ride was the first outdoor ride we rode. And my wife has not rode a ride in 20 odd years. I have not rode a ride like this since I was 17, 16 years old. So I was a teenager at this point, and I rode one in a long time. And this ride had so much fun twists and turns, but I boxed my ears on that ride more times than I did at any other point in Universal. I mean, straight up bink, 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 bink. I mean, I was hitting hard going through this ride. The line going there was really long, and this is the exact morning where I decided, or didn't really decide. I thought I heard a door knock, or someone knocking at a door. Asked who it was. This is the morning I decided to go. Who was it? Stand up and hit the rails of the stairs going up to the bunk bed above us in the Airbnb, and made my toe bleed. So pain was ensuing. And we were standing in one single spots for hours on end, walking maybe a few feet and standing there again. My foot was killing me, but I was determined to go through these rides. And it was so much fun to get off my legs for a few minutes and be yanked around a roller coaster. Oh God, that ride.
Bitch.
What'd you say?
I said, ECV, bitch.
I will not. I was stuffing it out like you were. You were. No, man, I can't make the joke. If I make the joke, somebody will get it. My toe was bleeding. So, that was a fun ride. But to say I had a little bit more fun, honestly, on Rip Rocket. Like that was a lot of fun. Hulk was fun.
Yeah, Rip Rocket. And now you know why we were telling you we want you to ride it, but understand your heart's going to be broken at the end because it's gone in September.
Yeah, that's so wild. Like I want to know this ride is huge. Like if you go to basically you go up through the Universal side, you literally see one part of the ride going through a building, and it's like that's sick. But
you see part of this ride before you even get in the park. Hell, it goes all the way out in the City Walk and comes back in.
Yeah, so the ride is huge. A lot of the rides are huge. You don't really realize how big they are till you really get in the area. But the Hulk was fun. I love the Hulk. That was a lot of good time. But took a long time to get there. A lot of the rides, it just said 45 minutes. Get ready to wait for maybe an hour 45. That's really where a lot of things coming back. And why a lot of people get quick pass, right? Because no more to do with that.
For part of your head boxing, because I forgot to tell you, the number one rule is on the Hulk, always press your head to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And about the time I thought to holler something to you, it was gone.
Bing, bing. I thought it would come out with boxer ear at the end of it.
I've been on it so much, my fucking head don't move. I lay that bitch back and lock it.
But yeah, going through the misty water was fun. Getting a little wet. Some rides you actually get wet on, not like soap, but little droplets on you, which makes it feel so much better. I bet during the hot winter, the hot summer days, the water is welcomed, and I'm hoping to have that experience someday because I like rides with water in it. I do like rides with water with it. That was a lot of fun. Then we got over to the Hogsmeade area, or the other
Harry Potter area, Hogsmeade, yes.
Yeah. So we wanted to take the train, but the train was down for the past 2 days, right?
They were doing maintenance on it.
So we could not get on the train. So we decided to go in there and take the only ride that my wife really wanted to do was go through the castle, which was
Forbidden
Journey. Forbidden Journey, which you could not do yourself.
I cannot do out of every ride. I Okay. I can do it, but I will not feel well afterwards for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't know why. I can ride every single ride out there, including Velocicoaster, and it gives me no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that ride, even though it's indoors, is not a coaster. It jacks me all up. So
Too real for you.
I took all the bags and stuff, and I went and found me a little seat in a hidden location that I've been to on more than one occasion because it's really close to another location.
Yeah.
And I sat and chilled, and they did their ride. Now he can tell you about their experience in the ride. I can't because I wasn't there.
Yeah. So this ride was I guess they were trying out a new technology of a flying machine, and you were supposed to go flying with Harry and them, testing out this machine and finding missing dragons and being attacked by.
Can't fly.
Yeah,
you're a muggle. You can't fly, so they were using these little box bench units that they came up with and casting a spell on it so you could fly. The problem is Hagrid lost a dragon in the process.
some not Death Eaters. There was a suck at your soul. What are they called again?
Those are Dementors.
Yeah, Dementors chase you down. Yeah, it was
spiders, dragons, Dementors, Whomping Willows.
Yeah, Whomping Willow part was really sick. Yeah, the Whopping Willow part was actually sick. 'Cause I think that was an actual animatronic moving around, so that was kind of like cool. So like going through the experience, that was a lot of fun. Getting the full effect of what it'd be like. It'd be inside the castle. And my wife was like, making jokes like, this is my house now. I'm staying here. No one's gonna be here, because she would love to live there. If the whole theme park broke down, she'd make that our home. I can almost guarantee it. And it was a lot of fun. But by the time I got up that ride, my foot was killing me. So we had to take a sit down for a little bit because that thing was throbbing. But I was not willing to give up. And so I get hungry, so we got to eat at the restaurant, which is right there.
3 broomsticks.
Yeah, 3 broomsticks, which had Corvo added this plate that was just like meant for 4 people. Just big old plate with just like corn, chicken, ribs, potatoes, sausage. Oh, that plate looked so good. It did. I would give my wife all the corn and a broccoli, but everything else I would have chow down on. That plate looked delicious. So if you want to try that, awesome. They also have beer there with the 3-tier beer, which you have to specially know the combination to make the beer.
Yeah, formerly known as the Deathly Hollow.
Yeah, and I had a very delicious raspberry tea, which I didn't. Oh, so good! I still can't remember that. But that was
this man's gonna forget everything about the trip. Well, he's gonna be sitting there going one day, man. I had some raspberry tea one time. That shit
it's like
was so
tea.
good.
Like, yeah, tea. They didn't sell that for real. And afterwards, we went on the what is it, King Kong ride, which
the Kong ride.
Which they have an animatronic inside that used to be from the movie that was put into the theme ride, which was reskinned again, and it looks so good. Like, the whole ride was good. You get wet, it gets some tyrannosaur slobber thrown on you, which, if you're grossed by that.
And the thing is, I've been on there and gotten some tyrannosaur slobber sprayed on me, but man, them tyrannosaurs was really drooling that night. So
I got splattered from both ways, so I was like, "Yay, water!"
The one thing I always wanted them to do was stop and give you the option to stand by the Kong animatronic and be like, put your hand on it and take a picture.
Yeah,
because I would do that so quickly.
What'd she say?
She said they used to have it where when you got off the original ride before they revamped it and everything, you could actually walk up to the animatronic and take a pitch.
Okay, so change the things.
But Kong is awesome. He looks great.
Yeah, because that ride, when we was walking by, it was 10-minute wait on time, and we went, okay, 10 minutes, let's go. We booked it on there as fast.
Oh yeah, okay. She was saying that Kong, the original Kong ride wasn't even in the Islands of Adventure side. It was originally on the other side. And what was it? Jimmy Fallon's took its place, right? Yeah, I'm saying Jimmy Fallon took Twister's place, right?
Yeah.
So you know where the Jimmy Fallon's area was?
Yeah.
That used to be Twister, but before it was Twister, Kong was in there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Speakeasy?
Like near back.
Yeah.
That whole.
Okay, so when you look at where Jimmy Fallon's is, there's an area on down towards the end.
Yeah.
That if you turn left, there's a bunch of buildings back there. Those buildings used to be the Kong ride.
Okay.
Is what she's saying, and that's where you used to get to do that stuff. So, the Speakeasy is one of those things you have to be there when it's there. But I'm gonna tell you, dude, I enjoyed the Speakeasy because you just get to stand by a little table, have a drink or two, and watch zombies dance around. And I'm telling you, zombies look pretty good when they're dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so,
just saying. Although you can't go with my youngest because he gets the cute zombie and leaves with her.
so, the Donkey Kong was a really quick ride. Then afterwards, we got on the Amazing Spider-Man for our last ride of the night. A lot of fun with that one too. Get to see the old school area of like how the old school cartoon was drawn to, and the presentation of the newsroom up into the Spider-Man ride itself was kind of nice, but it has an old school comic book feel to it, and see how things were kind of like ideal what Spider-Man would have been back then, and then earlier 90s or late 80s, early 90s, and get on the 3D ride. 3D ride was actually a lot of fun too, but not, in my opinion, not as good as Transformers. So but the same vehicle. I know it's the same vehicle. It was the same little like blue 2-3 tier angled vehicle, which
really, that's because they based Transformers
off of Spider-Man.
Design off of Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was first.
Yeah.
And it was hugely popular.
Mm-hmm. So Spider-Man was fun. I enjoyed it. And then we decided to call it at that point. Now, I know I'm missing a lot of things that happened that were like, remember the countdown, we got to, for me and my wife, a total of 14 unusual, weird, or bad things happened in that list of things. And I can't remember what all that happened that day. I just know we got to 14 somehow for me and my wife. So the next day was our birthday. And it was freezing that day. It was starting to get cold that day. And my wife decided to go, I'm not going today. My legs are hurting. I'm a little tired. I just want to relax. And I'm going, okay, all right, I'll go. Don't worry. It's okay. I'll go. And that day was a very long day, but it was also a very quick day because we had a very limited window from which we got to get in and out of there. And I know that one of the rides we had to hit was Rip Rod Rocket. We had to hit that ride because it was to be gone in September of this year. And first when we get there and get into the area, the entire ride is shut down, and it's around 12 o'clock evening. And then no one was allowed to go in. No one was allowed to crowd the front door. And Stealthy's like going, well, there's other rides that might be open right now. We can go hit up those. I'm going, I'm leaving. Because I know as soon as I leave, that door is going to go open, and we're going to miss our chance to come back here and be like an hour wait ride. So we decided to stay there. And you said it was the fastest loading of you and your kids that you ever done in your life, trying to get into the ride before everybody else did. Because it didn't matter who got into the gates first, who's ever got their stuff packed up and went upstairs first. Right?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we got our stuff in the locker, and we were up there in a heartbeat. And luckily we was with the Stealthy, and she remembered the secret trick to get to the secret music list on the ride.
But the people in front of us, number of them, which you had like phones in their pockets, earbuds on them.
Yeah. And after riding this ride, tell me you do not understand why all that shit has to be left.
Yes, because they do a scan on you, just like the Hulk one. I forgot to mention that. Hulk, you have to be scanned because you have anything in your pockets or so forth. You might knock somebody behind you or kill somebody or lose an item, and they can't have that. So you got to make sure you empty everything, nothing on you other than your badge to get on this ride, because this ride will throw you everywhere.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, and so what's the incline going up, Grumpy?
90 degrees. Have to been 90. That is so steep.
Coming down?
Maybe 45, maybe 55.
It's actually 75.
75? That don't feel like 75.
It's steep. She's double checking, but I'm thinking because it's almost 90 degrees coming down too. It slopes away. It don't start sloping away when you crown. It start down until right at the bottom.
Yeah.
So like the first half is almost 90, and then it slopes out.
Because I literally felt my head. Yeah. We're going up. I literally felt my head and my body slide, like going in that direction. I'm like, whoa! If I wasn't strapped down, I would have slid right off because how much of 90 degrees? The seats are leaning back, right? So you're going at 95, going straight up, and your seats are leaning somewhat back. So I felt my body go bink. I'm like, ooh! I puckered a little bit right there because that was unsuspected. And this ride, it wasn't always just like the speed going forward. It sometimes was the up climb and then the immediate like slow down. Like you got jerked every time you went up the rail and slowed to the next spot of it. And my body, every time I did that, my gut went, oh no, stay down. It was fun, but it definitely made your belly and your gut just have a couple, like you just got done eating, you would have felt a couple moments because it came up. And of course, the music playing along with it, right? You choose your own music to go with this ride. You choose what you want, or from the secret list. I chose Sandstorm because it's just a classic, and sure, Sandstorm, I'm cool with that. And that just gave you just a much more of a hype to the song that I just really had a lot of fun just jamming, and the thrill, speed, and momentum you were getting for each turn and twist was just such a good ride. I don't know. I still can't get over it. Why would you give her that?
And now the thing is once you pick that song the first time you ride it, every time you hear that song after that, you're going to think of that damn ride. You're like, man. Tell me that is not great marketing for Universal, because now at any moment in your life, you could be riding down the highway, hear that song, and you're automatically like, damn, I kind of want to go ride that ride. I should go back and ride that ride.
And that ride's huge. Huge. And I'm just wondering, like, who's gonna take that ride? Somebody has to take that ride. There's no way to just disregard it, melt it down, and to say we don't care about it. Somebody has to buy that ride, put it in their theme park, and just get ready.
Yeah, more than likely, I hate to tell you, that ride won't get sold.
You won't sell it?
It'll get mothballed, and mainly because that ride was designed around the way they have the park laid out in that area.
Yeah.
For someone to take that ride, they would literally have to break ground somewhere and find the exact measurements for all that layout for that area in the park to lay it out the exact same way again. And that's a huge investment in money.
Yeah.
So more than likely, they'll do it kind of like they did with some of the other rides. And I've seen other parks do it. They'll mothball it. And then years down the road, they'll come up with an idea for such and such ride. Right. So what she's saying is, you remember how we were talking about Dueling Dragons?
Yeah.
So if you look at Epic's Star Racers, I think it's inside of the Celestial Park area. I'm almost positive that is Dueling Dragons just revamped.
Yeah, revamp it somehow.
So they'll mothball that shit until they find another use for it later, and they'll pull that motherfucker out. Shove it in there with a new paint job and be like, let's get it.
Yeah. I think that ride deserves some memory, because I will always remember that ride. And I'm glad we get to hit that. And as soon as that was done, we had to run over to the longest ride as of yet. And not to say the longest ride because the queue time was the longest as of yet. An hour and 40 or hour and 35 in total. which was Hagrid's ride, and going through the upward climb to get to the upper area of Hagrid's and into the castle was an experience in itself, because it was actually woods. It was actually like a rocky hill area, and seeing all the people, actually going through the ride themselves, hearing them screaming, and going through Hagrid's little monster Proporium or Oporium, Monster Oporium. I forget what they call it, but his
the caretaker's emporium.
Yeah, taking where he takes care of all the monsters that he does and all the dragon eggs, and having that experience, which was fun in itself. But man, being in that long line, I can see why some people take fast passes or express pass, because geez, you go through room after room after room, and then finally you get there, and even then you still feel like, oh, I'm so close, let me in. Which, I had which the ride or the line up there, I had my own interesting experiences, but we won't go over that, because not experiences I have every single day, but I didn't count them on the unusual experiences or bad experiences of the trip, because they were just weird, because I didn't know that would happen to me. Something says it's common. I didn't.
The ride though, guys.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you a personal experience that I enjoyed at his expense. Was the fact that I know that in a specific area of this ride that the entire track drops.
It totally drops.
And I did not tell him on purpose. And I'm sitting behind him, looking at him in the dark. But, we all love the Grumpy because he has the shiny head. I can still find it.
Which was the ball guy?
And when that thing dropped, I swear, if that man could have said a prayer to sprout wings because he thought he was done, there'd have been fucking wings and he'd have been flying. Because he thought for a second his ass was done.
Yeah, because I thought, because they backed up. Forgot the mummy ride, but we'll talk about that later. When they backed up, because the ride had a malfunction, which wasn't actually a malfunction. It was part of the ride, right? And it backed up after going through this wet tunnel, then back through the wet tunnel and stopped. And he was doing his little Hemora whatever spell. I'm going, okay, we're about to go again. We're about to go front. Nope. Just straight up looking down the tunnel, down this pathway. I think we're about to head back down to the lanes with the shit or something like that, like a trail track. We just go right down, and all I see is just darkness all around us, and the area above us where we just came from. And we're just sitting there going, okay, ready to go? And we're like, nope, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I hear something behind me. Grumpy, what? 12. Oh, shit. Because then it was not normal at all for us to stop and stall. We were there for at least 15 seconds. Longer than normal.
It's not that we stalled. It's the first and only that we waiting on the other car to go.
Yeah, we were waiting on another car. I actually picked up her on that time. That's unusual.
And then what did she holler next? Hit the button. So Grumpy goes, button right when he launches, and I'm watching his hand try to grab that damn bar again. I'm like, okay. Which this ride had so many freaking pick up and go moments. I mean, not just like beep 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 beep. No, you just go from 0 to oh shit, we're about to go off the rails, because this ride picks up in speed. 60 miles, 65 miles per hour at the maximum.
And these, like, you're coming on this curve, you thinking you're about to go right over the curve, right? Because it's like, no way this vehicle will be able to take that curve. Nope, you just round around the corner. And mind you, you're sitting in this thing. You're not strapped in. You're sitting on. It ties you down around your waist. But like you're holding on the handlebars if you're riding the bicycle. If you're in the little sidecar, you're holding on to whatever little rails inside of it. And this thing is just full open, just going. And It has a lot of twists and turns, but like the speed up moments, the moments where it's just a straightaway, just pulls you back in an ocean moment. It felt so fun to be on it, but don't hold the handlebars. They actually really hurt.
I will tell you this: another funny moment we had was when we got to the end of the track, because I seen you go, wait, what the fuck? Oh, and then we fall backwards. He's like, oh, I guess we're just going to go backwards.
Yeah.
But the drop had to be the thing that I literally seen get you the most. You was not ready for that yet.
That's the only ride I've ever been on that actually just goes and releases your track of your area and just drops you. And then I guess as soon as it's to drop, you're supposed to like launch yourself at the tunnel. And I wasn't really thinking about that. All I was like thinking about is like, what's going on? Why we just drop? And that was a lot of fun. Now, we did hit the Mummy one up, Mummy Ride 2. That was the day before. I forgot to bring it up. Mummy Ride was also pretty fun. Really long, though. The whole area, the very interactive little areas. I like that. I like the little interactive things in the areas. I like the little gust things. I like the little hand-touching things. Very, very aesthetically pleasing. And the story from which the thing is telling you is really nice. I just remember that one part of the ride where you get up to that one room that's closed off. We stop. I'm thinking, okay, I've been on rides like this before. There's about to be a hatch in front of us that unlock, and we just go straight down. But no, the ride goes, no, you're not, and just yanks you back real fast, turns you around, and then throws you up this inward climb to then actually start the actual ride. Because the very beginning of it, you're thinking, okay, is this one of like this Muppet Show kind of rides? You see a bunch of little things moving around. I thought it'd be a cinematic one, like I saw goggles on it. I'm going, okay, it's a cinematic one on the little in-app. But no, it's actually like a roller coaster. Then they actually started putting you through this actual roller coaster of it, and that was a lot of fun. Indoor rides I'm still saying I love the indoor rides. They're cool, they're fun, they're not hot and sweaty, and you don't worry about like too much stuff flying off of you because they're like just fast enough but not too fast where you have to go jeering off of you. But I still tied mine down in this case. Wife really liked that one. I like that one too. Just the wait times, it would kill you. Like definitely me and my wife done talked about this. We're gonna be going buying just some shoes just for vacations, just for that vacation. Yes. Just shoes, just for that, nothing else, and that's all we're gonna wear. Nice soles, nice shoes, because you're gonna be on your feet standing for long periods of time, wishing you were walking somewhere.
Unless you get lucky and get an OI ticket, then you're just gonna have to have good shoes because you're gonna be moving a lot because you ain't gonna have to stop. That's the problem until you get on the ride, and then when you get off, you're gonna be moving again to go to the next one.
Yeah. Which is great, really fun. The food there was pretty good. We got to try the chocolate factory, which had some of the sweetest milkshakes I've ever had in my life. I thought I literally was going to have a tooth decay just eating this stuff. It was so good, but boy, was it so bad for you. Oh, got a little jar for it. That was kind of interesting. The whole thing's not a vacation that you want to take to go and relax. This is not a relaxing trip. This is a thrill seeker trip.
It's not a relaxing trip the first couple of times. And the reason being because you haven't done everything once.
Yeah.
But once you've done everything once, you can make it you can make it relaxing because you've done them. So you only have to then hit the ones you feel like doing that day. So you don't have to really rush. You can kind of sit, take a break, be like, all right, so my day today is I'm going to hit these two or these three.
So what would you say? So what would you say is like we're already over a time because we're having too much conversation.
Oh yeah,
are we?
Yeah, almost 19 minutes over.
All right, so real quick, if anybody's interested in going there, how many days would you say you would actually need in order to for a first time be able to experience everything you would want to experience? Like, how many days would you say?
Yeah. Okay, so if you're going and you don't want to be rushed, you want to be able to chill, you need at least a week if you're going normal days.
7 days?
Okay.
5?
Yeah. Right. I would say 5 to 7 days. And here's why. Because if you do it that way, you can break it up. You can say, all right, I'm doing this Harry Potter area today. That's it. I'm going to do this Harry Potter area this day. That's it. I'm going to do Transformer Minion area this day. You know,
yeah,
you could pick a specific area, stay in that geographical area, not have to rush. Take an off day if you need to rest. You know, I would say you need a week down there, but you might not only need out of the 7, but 5 days to do the park. But have the other 2 for like, okay, I did the park 2 days in a row. My fucking legs are tired. I need a break. You know,
Yeah.
and you can chill. Now, if you want to do everything and you want to do it in less time, just buy a 2-day OI ticket. That's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need because you don't go until 5 in the afternoon, so you get to sleep late. You're only in there with the other park guests from 5 to 8, so that's 3 hours. At 8 o'clock, all those people that don't have OIs, they're out. So you go from, I say a number of, let's say a round number. This might not be accurate, but this is an example. Let's say there's 40,000 people in the park. You go from 40,000 people to 10,000 people.
yeah,
You know, it cuts it down dramatically, and security literally walks the park and finds these people and makes sure they're out. And then at that point, you're literally walking through the lines. You're not waiting. You're just walking through and sitting down, and you're going. And then you're also at 8 o'clock. You start getting free food from the carts, free non-alcoholic drinks from the carts. You know, the only time I've ever had to wait, and it's at the most been 5 or 10 minutes, was if I went to Hagrid's
yeah,
or Velocicoaster.
yeah,
Those are always going to be you usually will walk through it, and you might not be on the first car you see when you get there, but you'll be on the next one.
yeah.
You know,
Which Flop the Ride was the only other real major ride I wanted to take, but we couldn't take it because it was down. But then when it got up, it was only like 2 hour wait time, and I wasn't when we had things to go. We went to Super Ramen place, got some ramen. We went to 2 anime or Gods and Monsters and Anime
World.
Anime World. We got some things from that, which I want to get more of those things. I have like right there. You see Bulbasaur looks his eyes red because the light's glowing on the right spot. And I want to get more of those. And the next day we drove home, which just as we leave Corvo and Stealthy's house, we hit a snowstorm, which was was classified as a natural disaster. On the way home from their house, 6 hours to back to our house, which we were stuck in the snowstorm for 5 hours. We had a bunch of 18-wheelers and other vehicles. We slid twice, almost hit a stop sign, or not stop sign, one of those rail signs that tells you, go turn right, turn left, blah, 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 directional. We almost hit one of those. My wife was driving at the time, so she did a great job. She was freaked out, but she did a great job. She slid twice, a lot of black ice, and it's still apparently to this day some road problems going on. And it's supposed to snow this morning over near we were. So not a fun thing. We almost was in a wreck multiple times, but not by other vehicles. We managed to avoid them, but we would have been out of it if it was not for the fact there was so many 18-wheelers crashed on the side of the road. It was really bad, but we were determined to get home. We got home safe, but 24 hours after I was awake, because I was awake at 6 o'clock that morning, and we got home around 6 o'clock that very next day. So I drove after a while, was out of it, and so did my wife. So we barely made it home. Was not a fun experience. But anyways, stay tuned. We're going to be going D&D after this. So thank you for being here. Thank you for leaving comments down below if you would be so kind. Share this with all your family and friends. Give us your thoughts. And if you went to, if you're going to go to Orlando, tell us your experience or your thoughts on it. And I'll see y'all later. As always, have a good day. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, starting to call the other thing.
All right, you call the other one. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick.
Okay. Stop. All right.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, let's see. Do pop out. I know you're getting some food there. All right.
Look at that full house.
Yeah. Get everybody. So nice.
Everybody but
How
Dazzling.
dare you forget the dazzling.
I thought I just saw her there.
I thought he did too.
Yeah, she was there.
Nope.
It
She-
was calling her.
Oh, I thought she picked up. I'm like, oh damn.
No.
I was hopeful.
She did
damn it.
say,
She might not make it.
Oh, jeez.
but it's okay if she doesn't make it. We'll say that she's unconscious when she comes out of the portal.
I mean, it would make sense.
I am on saving throws, so yeah.
Yay.
Oh yeah, that's right. You died right when you fell through the door and into the portal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he was
so-
an asshole the entire
so-
time.
As you should have deserved.
So
Holy.
wait, this is the third game with you guys, and this is my first death.
Something about that.
This is your first time going down?
Yes,
Holy
in 3 games. Yes.
By killing himself.
It's not fair.
I can't help it that I'm more awesome.
That's okay. We can remedy that for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's,
Oh,
that's
just
We
give
can
me
easy.
a-
help you.
just
We
give-
can help
look.
you get some more deaths if that's what you're wanting.
I mean,
I know
all
who's
this
taking
is-
sounds like.
I have been here entirely out of comedic response, and I have not disappointed yet.
Especially this time around.
Exactly, like being trapped inside of a bubble with butterflies.
Yeah,
No camera today, Stealthy?
I will. I got
Okay, I just wondering because you know the camera moves you when you turn it on.
Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom and then I'll be right back.
There.
Well, hurry
happy,
up.
Big. Okay, fine. We ain't doing shit. How about that?
I gave the thumbs. It looks like your camera looks like you're underneath your desk.
It is. It's under my monitor.
Okay.
Ooh, she's under the table.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. Sit in real tight.
Oh, good times.
Hmm.
Okay.
I've been sick for a few days, so I finally am getting solid food again. It's like, oh, I'm just stuffing my face.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that's good. Mm.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get sick with all the different environments I went through this past week. Snow,
Windy,
rain,
rainy,
hot.
sunny, snowy.
Yeah, how'd all that go?
Oh, it went it went fun, but the ride back was hell.
Yeah, I heard you were on the road forever.
Yeah, I woke up that very day, 6 o'clock, and I got home the very next day, 6 o'clock, and we were stuck in traffic because of the snowstorm we went through, and all the wrecks, and all the swerves, and all the vehicles on the side of the roads, and all the black ice. We were on the road for another 6 hours or so, more than we were supposed to be.
Ooh. Damn.
Because we were supposed to get
That's
home
rough,
at
dude.
9 that the day before. That's why I was like, by there to there was 9 o'clock. We got home at 6 o'clock the next day.
Wow.
Yep.
I bet
What
you
a-
were tired.
Oh, I was hysterical or hallucinative. I was not in the right mind.
Are you
ever
ever?
in the right mind?
No.
Even more so.
I turned on, at some point I just had to turn on the music and start playing, and I was singing like a high schooler. Just singing the song just to stay awake.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm glad I wasn't a part of that.
Like we were jamming out, and oh Jesus, our dogs were fine. They were doing great.
I
But,
bet.
I told my wife if we do this again and it happens again, is it a freak accident or a curse? And she's like, curse. I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. It felt like a curse.
So how was the trip then? Besides the traveling,
the trip was an absolutely treat. It was well welcomed. It just would have been better if like a lot of odd end stuff happens, but it made it more memorable. But I wish it would have been a lot more smoother. So, but I would do it again. I would do it again. Just less headaches.
There's right here.
And I definitely say when because we are planning to go back again when they open the other theme park. They opened up a theme park with like Mario World and Train Your Dragon and Monster and another Harry Potter spot. Definitely want to go for that because I'm all in for the idea of going down Rainbow Road and Mario Land because that sounds sick.
Oh yeah.
That's that. Okay.
All right. I think I'm ready. All I got to do is hit start and do my spiel.
I'm just ready to play.
Oh yeah, I bet. Okay, and then we're gonna go up here and change here to here. Where is follow? There it is. Not lead campaign, but I want you to go to follow. There we go. Oh, didn't everybody we leveled up, didn't we?
We
I
need
don't
to ask the
remember.
DM about that.
Yeah, I don't remember her saying anything about that.
Yeah, she hasn't said nothing about that stuff.
Pretty sure.
She would let us
is
know.
my voice mod working now?
No.
No.
Nope. You sound like your normal self.
Sound normal. God. All right, let's see.
Could be
How about
worse.
now?
There we go.
Yay!
Love it. Yay!
Hey.
Hey,
So-
check your chat, Grumpy.
All right.
I have been watching Mashal, by the way, and I forgot
Oh,
how
God.
I have forgot how monotone that main character is, and it is hilarious. Oh my god, I can't stop laughing at it. It's so stupid.
Oh man.
All
I
right,
love how
so
he
there's that,
flies.
and all I gotta do is set mine, and I'm good to go myself.
Have you seen how he
Are we
flies yet?
gonna do
Yes, I have.
the chat together? Okay.
Just freaking just. Oh God.